So in this match, we're taking a look at a very short dogfight that occurs, and it basically determines the outcome of the game. Once we win this fight for altitude, it's just a very anticlimactic game. But this is how the usual game goes for our squad. Once you win the initial dogfight for air supremacy over the high altitudes, then that's the end of the game basically. Our contestants right now are these three dudes right here. We got a LA7, an I-185, a Yak-9. There's also a Spitfire further at the back, but he will basically give up his altitude, trying to get kills before the game ends towards the end. So it's only these three guys. They're the only ones on the enemy team that properly climbed. On our side, we do have an XP50 and a P47 on the other side, but they're going to get tangled up with the Spitfire and the J26 on the far right there. We have a fourth member of our squad, Rando, but he's too far away from this fight to really participate to do anything. So it's just me, Lieutenant Dan, and Flame. So I'm in the yellow fighter, Flame's in the Yak-3, Dan's flying the D5, trailing behind me. So Flame is in the Yak-3, so we're already at about 5k altitude. There's no reason for Flame to be any higher than like 4k. Because it's a Yak-3, it's a low altitude fighter. He performs much better there, so there's no reason for him to really be sticking with us throughout this entire game. Me and Dan are in Mustangs, but I'm in the D10, which is the much better aircraft, being 0.3 BR higher than the D5. So what happened here was that I made the call to wait till the LE7, the Yak, and the 185 started to commit to a turn because we needed the altitude far more than they do. Just because Dan's in the D5, if I was flying a D5, I wouldn't want to commit very early, especially if they still had an altitude advantage, which they did when we started coming into this fight. We've only now just equalized because they had just finished shooting down this B-17 over here that's going down in flames. So now we commit into the turn. Flames turning in already as well. And now the fight's on. So it's 3-on-2 right here. And this one will pretty much determine the fate of the game.
Okay, I'm gonna wait for you guys to just come over
We're
here.
going off to the left because we can't hit him right now. We need 700 more meters.
Got you.
17's down.
Yak-9's coming towards me, on my right.
I think two of them are gunning for you. It's a 7 and a 9.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, both of them.
Okay, I'm turning in.
Right, okay.
Alright,
Let's go get him.
I'm right below you guys. Let's go. 3v2, baby.
Speed. Take shots at 9. It's 19.
4v2.
It was
Gotta
pull
get
up for
them.
me.
Okay, I'm coming for the
I got
7.
Severe, he's down.
Oh,
One's
Dan,
down.
Was
Dan.
it missed?
7's still up.
Yeah, still missed me. Continue.
The Yak-9 decides to go for me. I take some long-range pot shots here just to keep him preoccupied. So I go break into a left down turn, dodge away, get the merge in on him. This allows Flame to get shots off for free on the Yak-9 from his position down there. The LA7 decides to commit to Dan in the Mustang off to the right here. So what's going to happen here is that I'm going to serve as bait for the Yak-9 until Flame can get the kill shot on the 9. And then after that, we need to pivot very quickly to this LA7 before he gets Dan. So that right there is the end. Flame gets the kill shot, whips his wing off, and now we've got to go and pivot to help Dan out. So Dan, like I said, I made the decision to wait a little bit before turning into engage, before committing to the engagement, just because I know that if you're flying a D5 and you don't have some kind of an advantage, it's really difficult to play. So Dan just cuts across, he doesn't do anything fancy. LE7 doesn't manage to get any shots on, and then I turn up here, trying to get shots on, and right there is the kill shot. LA7 loses a wing, and that's the end.
I'm making a turn, just hold on, Dan.
Yeah, hang on, Dan.
Yep.
Spring. Got hit, fire.
Severe. Okay.
Very short dogfight. But as you can see, everyone has a part to play, and everyone makes moves that if you were in an isolated position, you normally wouldn't do, right? So like for Flame, for example, you wouldn't really pitch up straight away to a guy that's got altitude advantage on you and then start taking shots. But he knows that he can do that because he's got two wingmen around him that are covering him. I'm the one who's baiting the Yak 9 into the front head-on shots. We're trading shots at very long range. So he knows that he doesn't really need to concern himself with the Yak 9 pitching down and, sniping him off. And as for the LA7, Dan's already there and he's already got his attention. So he knows that he can make that kind of maneuver. Now for Dan here, he plays it really cool. He doesn't need to do anything fancy, right? Against the LA7, he just flies on straight. He has the altitude. He kept his speed up, which we built up as we turned into the engagement here, and he just takes very, very slow, shallow maneuvers. If you can see the line over here, very slow, shallow maneuvers. Just keeping his speed, building up a little speed. I think at the start of this fight, it was at 350 kph. Now it's at 430. There's no way the LA7 was going to get a really good shot in at that point because the LA7 was pitching up. And by the time he's done doing that maneuvers, me and Flame are already in an offensive position to take shots at the LA7, and he's gone. It's as simple as that. There's nothing, you don't need to be some rocket scientist or no quantum mechanics to be able to figure this out, but this is how proper teamwork looks like in air combat.